Everyone, with a gentle reminder to stay muted at all times during the service. Our partner in prayer today is Sharon Rasa for this coming week, so we invite you to hold Sharon Rasa in prayer. And our chaplain today is Lynn Presley. She is willing to accept personal requests to have one-on-one prayer by email. Her email address is on the screen. And she will get back to you to have one-on-one prayer. So please take advantage of that. If anyone is with us for the first time, we welcome you to our virtual service. And I do have a few announcements. There will be a virtual prayer session on Thursday, April 2nd, 2020 at 7 p.m. You will be notified by email or check our website for the Zoom link. And at the end of the service, after the prayer for protection, we will remain online for those who wish to stay and share and just chat with everybody. We know that being in isolation, it's just an opportunity that we invite you to take part in that, because we will keep you muted throughout the service. Okay, our power of the month.
Okay. Did you just want to remind them also about?
Sure, I forgot about the etiquette. So we just ask that you keep your audio feed muted for the entirety of the service. This allows the audio signal to be clear, and we won't hear any background noises because that can be annoying. If you are multitasking during the service, moving around your home with phone in hand, that's not a good thing either. So we do ask that if you're going to move around or you're going to eat something or do something that you don't want others to see, that you just shut your video off. So it's just all little things that will help our service run smoothly. Moving on to our power of the month. Our power of the month is wisdom. And our affirmation, centered in spiritual wisdom and the harmonizing power of love, I am poised in peace and discern what is my highest calling in every choice I make. When you are operating from a dominant state of awareness, your ability to engage the light of wisdom is either suppressed or is utilized in an overdeveloped fashion. You can identify that your power of wisdom is underdeveloped when you find it difficult or are unable to make decisions, even simple ones, such as where would you like to go for dinner? Additionally, you may become gullible or naive and can be easily swayed by the opinions of others, especially those who have authority, or from those whom you seek approval. When your power of wisdom is fearfully stifled from your awareness, you are unable to discern or intuit guidance that leads you to your highest good. You can recognize that you are engaging your power of wisdom in an overdeveloped fashion when you become highly judgmental and are critical of others. From this reactive state of awareness, you may take things personally, allowing people and circumstances to dictate your well-being. Additionally, you may become overly obsessed with black and white thinking and/or can only make decisions based on facts that can be proven with your five senses, rather than trusting your gut instincts or the wisdom of your wise heart. You can also tell you are operating from an overdeveloped state when you find yourself ruminating incessantly over decisions, options, and/or choices. When you are centered in spiritual consciousness, you engage your power of wisdom to apply knowledge learned and are able to discern the wisdom of your body, mind, and emotions from a place of openness and of non-attachment. Additionally, you can appraise the physical circumstances of a situation, yet you are guided by your inner wisdom and make decisions that enable you to remain centered in truth to your values and your divine nature. Ultimately, world events, personal circumstances, and interactions with others are unable to interfere with the discerning voice of your higher self and your ability to live the guidance you receive. From this place of spiritual wisdom, you move past conditioned thinking and ways of being and live the truth that goodness and benevolence exists right where I am. Breathe that in. And now say aloud with me, say to yourself out loud while you're where you are, our affirmation together, centered in spiritual wisdom and the harmonizing power of love. I am poised in peace and discern what is my highest calling in every choice I make. And now we'll have call to worship. This is a song by Karen Ducker, Blessing to the World.
You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
And now our principle 2. I am. Human beings are divine at their core and therefore inherently good. Now we'll have special music, and I think you'll hear the voices that are quite familiar. Sit back, relax, and listen.
The song is dedicated to its creator, Steve D, and the members of Spirit of Peace.
Turn it around, it's your choice. You can wear your tears or smile ear to ear, it's your choice. You can choose to sing or choose to cry. You can choose to crawl up with the angels fly. It's your choice, it's your choice, it's your choice. It's your choice. Not too late to dance, go on and take a chance, it's your choice. Problems can't be solved if you're not involved, it's your choice. You can choose to dance or choose to sit. You can choose misery or live in bliss. It's your choice. It's time to change or remain the same, it's your choice. It's up to you if you stay or move, it's your choice. You can choose to live or choose to die. You can choose to move on or get left behind. Choose to cry, you can choose to crawl with the angels fly.
Our daily word is inner peace. Our affirmation is, I find the principle of peace in the silence. The Hebrew scriptures tell the story of the Lord commanding the prophet Elijah to stand on the mountain before the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. As he waits, Elijah fails to find God as he endures a wind strong enough to split mountains, an earthquake, and then a fire. Then Elijah discovers God in a sound of sheer silence. The silence is a state of total non-awareness. When I come out of this state, I may experience inner peace, a peace that passes understanding. I manifest this peace from the principle of peace. Sometimes chaos surrounds me as I find inner peace. Other times, the chaos may be inside me. I persist in my efforts as I confront inner storms, fires, and earthquakes. Like Elijah, I remain steadfast in faith until inner peace is mine. So I ask you to repeat our affirmation together. I find the principle of peace in the silence.
This morning, the meditation is dedicated to opening up our hearts, which is the call of humanity at this time. Last week, I shared that we are here as creators, and depending on where we are centered in consciousness will determine the creations that we see before us. And I shared the parable of Adam and Eve, and Eve is the symbol of awakening our heart and living from the wisdom of the spiritual heart. And so the prayer that I share is awakening Shekinah, which is the Hebrew name of the divine heart aspect of God that is alive within all of us. I invite you to, if you haven't already, close your eyes. And begin breathing in and out from your heart. Calling forth deep abiding peace. And allowing the words of this beautiful prayer to awaken you in the consciousness of wisdom, in the consciousness of living from the wise and open heart. Oh, Shekinah, yours is the feminine face of the holy, the luminous moon who lights up the night as we travel from captivity to liberation. You are the pillar of fire within who guides our way home. The cloud hovering over the mountain peaks, a living sign that the drought is over. Oh, you are the indwelling presence of the divine. And whenever we gather to praise the one, you are here in our midst. When we cry out for justice, you make our hearts tender. And when we stand with those on the margin, you make our legs strong. When we create works of art and parent our children and harvest our gardens, you guide and sustain us. Oh, you are the Sabbath bride, the beloved, returned from exile. You restore balance in our relationships and wholeness to our fragmented souls. You infuse our love-making with honey. You fill the cup of our hearts, which tremble with longing, with the wine of your answering love. You are the song of our homecoming. You are the grace that soothes our aching hearts. You are the Sabbath Queen, the great mother who sits at the heart of the table, tearing off hunks of the secret bread that contain the exact flavor each of us loves best. You feed us all, the proud and the repentant, the believer and the skeptic, from your own heart. You feed us. Your unconditional forgiveness dissolves otherness. Oh, Shekinah, we are the vessels for your inflowing. Your radiance requires the clay of our embodiment. Your flame burns at the core of the earth. Your warmth penetrates the seedbed and animates the seedlings. Oh, you bless the head of every animal and kiss the tear-streaked face of humanity. You are the vision that builds community. You are our refuge when the fabric of community unravels. Oh, come alive in us now as we navigate the landscape of mystery, where your most cherished attributes, wild mercy and boundless compassion, righteousness and wisdom, seem to be cast aside and trampled by imperious world powers. We are paralyzed by helplessness. Oh, we rise in the heart of wisdom, in compassion and in love. We invoke you now. We open our hearts. May we remember you and lift you up in all that we do. May we recognize your face and celebrate your beauty in everything and everyone, everywhere, always. And as we sit in the silence for a moment, I invite you to send from your heart a blessing to your loved ones, to those it is hard to see the divinity in, and for all those who are suffering in this moment. Let us send our love out now as we rest in the silence. Let us rise and stand with an open heart, an open mind, to listen, to hear what is ours to do, to be the hands, the feet, the words of the One. Let us take a deep breath in and release with the sound of ah, breathing in and out. Ah. Again, breathing in and out. Ah. One last time, breathing in and out. Ah. May the beauty of your heart find expression in all that you do this day. And so it is. And so we shall live it. Amen.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So I'm going to start my talk off this morning with a movie clip from Jerry Maguire, and the character Jerry Maguire is played here by Tom Cruise.
And hit the record button too.
It's already recording, thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I am a role model, Jerry. I have a family to support. Hear me? I want to stay in Arizona. I want my new contract. But I like you. Yes, I like you, Jerry. My wife likes you. You're good to my wife. I will stay with you.
That's great. I'm very happy.
Are you listening?
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do for you. God bless you, Jerry. But this is what you're going to do for me. You listen? Jerry?
Yeah, what can I do for you, Ron? You just tell me, what can I do for you?
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Looking good, but I think I'm taking too long.
Yo!
Spot for a Glock. I took a long overflow, but still got a knock.
Money! Jerry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Jerry.
Show you the money.
Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it with meaning, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it.
Yeah, no. Show you the money.
Not show you. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Yeah! Louder!
Show me the money.
That's it, brother, but you got to yell that shit.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Jerry.
Show me the money.
Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money! Show me the money! Do you love this black man?
Hang like G. Revenge is on my legs with a tail between their knees.
I love black people. I love black people. What you gonna do, Jerry? Show me the money! Congratulations, you're still my agent.
So this clip that I just showed from Jerry Maguire brings humor to the very uncomfortable and painful experience of survival that we all come face to face. Maybe it's not necessarily the survival that we experienced when we were running with the tigers, but all that we come face to face with in trying to provide for physical needs, and when we feel threatened by all that which we stuff within inside of us, all of the hurts and wounds that we have not allowed to surface. And so when we are face to face with that experience of survival, we may find ourselves contemplating, what do I need to say or do, or how do I need to behave in order to earn enough money to put food on the table, to put a roof over my head, to provide for all of the things I think are essential in day-to-day living. And we may find ourselves asking the question, what do I need to do or say to get what I want? What I really, really want? What do I need to do or say to get the approval and the love that I so yearn for? And right now, what is common for all of us? What do I need to do for myself and for my loved ones to survive, to transcend the illness like the coronavirus? And we can go on and on. There's so many more. How do I transcend and deal with loss, whether it's a loss of a loved one? And the character here, Jerry Maguire, played by Tom Cruise, really portrays the archetype of the prostitute. And the archetype of the prostitute is something that is within us. It is the energy of the choices that we make when we are faced with that perceived survival. And we find ourselves at a choice point. I think Steve's song is so appropriate. It's your choice. It is our choice, once we begin to become self-aware and awake, do I respond to those needs by compromising my integrity to financially get my needs met? Or do I compromise my integrity, my spirit, to get the love I want, to survive this current situation, and so on and so on? Do I give in and conform to the world rules about survival, competition, projection, blame, and guilt and shame? Or do I make an awakened choice? Even though I stand here in pain and suffering and I am frightened, do I take a deep breath in and ascend from that place of fear and energize and open my heart to the wisdom of my soul? And do I allow my choices to reflect that, to reflect my core values and integrity? Last week, I talked about the allegory of Adam and Eve. And so here's another way to look at that choice. Do I pick and eat the unripe fruit from the tree of knowledge, or do I pick and eat the fruit that is ripe from the tree or knowledge? And where we are centered in consciousness has everything to do with the choices and what will outpicture in our experience. See, you see when survival comes up, or any form of fear arises, or if anything from our woundedness comes up, that survival sense will awaken. And what we will automatically go to is our personal mind, quote unquote, our ego. And our personal mind is our conditioned personality that will make choices that will be the quickest and best way to avoid pain and suffering, and at all costs, avoid opening our heart. And we falsely believe that if there is a quick fix, and that when we over and over choose that quick fix and separate from our integrity, we will only bring more suffering. So it is a big illusion. And as we awaken, we know that there's another choice. As Michael Singer speaks about in The Untethered Soul, we have a choice to be present with all that is, to breathe into it, and to ascend to the seat of awareness, to divine mind, to allow the Eve within us to open, to experience it all, and to search not what will help us avoid pain and suffering. But the question from our highest place is, what am I willing to do and say, become, in order to evolve from up to the highest place of consciousness? How may I serve this moment, regardless of what others may think or say, or regardless of how uncomfortable it will make us feel? And one of the things that Michael Singer talks about, what I find so powerful, when he talks about how we live, many of us with closed heart, he says that the mind is the place the soul goes to hide from the heart. I don't know about you, but I find that to be very powerful. And just as the allegory of Adam and Eve is a call for us to awaken from our slumber, to awaken in consciousness, to live with a unified heart mind, so is the movie Jerry Maguire. It comes through in a modern message. Jerry Maguire is a successful sports agent. He has all the clients that he could ever want. He has much wealth. He has a beautiful fiance. Life is just buzzing along if you look at the standards of a successful person in this world. But he's starting to experience something is just not right with his soul. Something is really dying, and he believes that he's becoming a shell of a person. So he's up one night and he just allows this mission statement. It's actually a 24-page mission statement to be birthed through him. And then he's all on fire and he goes to work and he shares it with the higher ups. And it is something to the fact that we should not be worried about how much money we earn. We should not see people as commodities, but we should be centered in building relationship, really caring about the people. And if it means we have less agents, then so be it. Well, if you watch the movie, you know that it went over like a thud. The higher ups did not approve. He wound up becoming blacklisted. He wound up losing all of his clients except for Rod Tidwell, a football player who was played by Cuba Gooding Jr. He also loses the friendship and support of all of his coworkers except for one. And his fiance leaves him. The life he knew crumbled right before his eyes. And we can see that this is the modern day, or what we experience as the crucifixion experience in our own lives. But he allowed himself to be most alive what was true in him, what was wanting to awaken, wanting to live from that place of an open heart. And in doing so, yes, he did live the crucifixion experience, but it was necessary for him to rise in new life, life that was meaningful, life where love was his message. And not only did he transform and experience the joy of his being, and like all good movies and romances, he gets the woman, the love that he wants, the family that he wants, but he also has an impact on others as he lives with this open heart. At one point, the character Rod Tidwell is complaining, you're not, I'm not getting the breaks, so on and so on. And Tom Cruise stands there and confronts him. And here is that passage from the movie. All right, I'll tell you why you don't have your $10 million right now. You are a paycheck player. You play with your head, not your heart. In your personal life, yeah, you may be all heart, but when you get on the field, it's all about what you didn't get. Who's to blame? Who won through the pass? Who's got the contract you don't? Who's not giving you your love? You know what? That is what inspires people. Shut up. Play the game. Play it from your heart. And you know what? I'll show you the Quan. And that's the truth, man. That's the truth. Can you handle it? So I asked him that people want the heart. So I sit here with you, even though we are many miles away from each other. And I pose those same questions to you. Where are you playing your life from your head and not allowing your heart to open? Who's not giving you the love that you want? Who's not giving you what you think is necessary in life? And I really want us to focus on this one. Who's to blame? Who's to blame? You see, all of that is about focusing on the outside world, making it be about everything out there that is wrong, instead of taking that journey to our heart. Now, I'm not saying that things that present itself are all going to feel good when we do that. So what I would like to have us do is to look at what projection is. Many of you have heard it, but I would really like to just share a short passage from the book written by Robert Brummett, a Unity minister and author, entitled Awakening to Your Greater Reality. And here is what he says about projection. That which we refuse to see within ourself will appear to be present in our environment, usually in another person. We may find ourselves fatally attracted to someone in spite of common sense, or we may become enraged or triggered by another person over and over again. We may habitually find fault with someone and secretly want to see them suffer or punish them for their shameful behavior. People in our personal lives, as well as public figures, such as politicians, movie actors, or TV personalities, are typical targets for our projections. I would like us to enter something that may be very uncomfortable for some, but I really feel is necessary if we, individually and collectively, will open our hearts in order to transcend this coronavirus experience, to transcend global warming, racial injustice, and all that we see that is occurring when we live life from the head and a closed off heart. And so just as Robert Brummett speaks about how we not only project onto the people in our personal lives, but public figures, especially politicians, really can trigger us one way or another. And I know we all could probably list a whole bunch of them. And I want to bring one that is being very energized in consciousness for all of us right now. And again, it is our current president, Donald Trump. And I ask you to take a deep breath. I ask you to go deep and to hear, not from your personal mind, but from that place on high where we're all asked to go. You see, believe it or not, Donald Trump has a lot in common with the master teacher, Jesus. And if you're not breathing, I ask you to do so now. You see, both are polarized figures in their time. Much attention was given to them. People either adored him, thought he was the savior, would lift us from our ills, or wanted to push him away because he was threatening. Both of their messages threatened the status quo, the behavior of our times, and it shook us to our core. Both influence us to find refuge and healing by going to the kingdom of God within. Jesus did it with an inspirational message, and at times Donald Trump can bring us to our knees. And it is when we are on our knees that we may begin to ask to go deeper, to ascend higher, to look not from the mirror dimly, but from a higher place in consciousness. And both figures bring us face to face with the crucifixion experience and bring us to asking the question, what must die in order for us to be born in new life? And both of them are our teachers. And if we really believe in principles 1 and 2, that God is all there is, and that goodness can be found in every situation, when we can move from believing that all is broken and that the universe is conspiring right now for our greatest healing, we too can see past what is hurtful and what we want to disown. Both are here to teach us. Jesus emulates what it means to live as an awakened soul, to love God with one's whole heart and soul, and to love thy neighbor as thyself. A beautiful message, and sometimes is hidden from our own experience. And Trump emulates what it means to live as a wounded, sleeping soul, and to love material possessions and personal power with a closed heart and mind, and views most neighbors as his enemy. My friends, individually and collectively, we must go within and look at what healing is being sought for. I personally had to do this myself. This week, I found myself yelling at the TV as I heard the president talk about lifting sheltering in place by Easter, and just sharing statements that were contradictory to what the health professionals were sharing. And I found myself getting angry. I found myself saying, God damn it, he is going to kill us all. And this week, I found myself feeling the weight of sadness, the weight of grief, and it brought me to my knees. For I knew that I had to go deep within, not busy myself with all the things that needed to be done out here, but I needed to go deep within and ask myself, am I willing? Am I willing to really get that he is sent as our teacher? Am I willing to look at what he may be representing for my own personal healing? Because you see, if I'm like Rod Tidwell, always blaming everything out there, or it's these people, it's the supporters over here that are causing all the pain, we will never rise For the only person we can heal is heal ourselves. And as we do that, as I've been saying, week after week, one person at a time, it will ripple into our collective. And so I ask you over the next 2 weeks, this is going to be sent, it's recorded, for you to look at what this current experience, this current administration may having us look like. Because when we look face, we're like, I'm not like that. But if we dive deeper at some of the symbolism we see playing out, maybe perhaps some of these are here for you to look at as well. How have you not told the truth to yourself or others to protect yourself, including white lies? How have you defended behavior that was not in alignment with your divinity because, you know what, someone else deserved it? How have you weaponized your power, your authority to control a situation, even in your own household, or to get what you want, or to get what you want? Where are you so focused on what you want that you lose sight of the needs of others? How has earning money been a justification for you to abandon your core values or the commitments you made with perhaps your employer or friends? Where does performance matter more than being authentic and real? Where are you more focused on being the star instead of being a team player? Where have you been more attracted to physical appearance than what is in the heart of another? Where are you showing up as always having to be right and prove you have all the answers instead of listening to the views of others? Where do you defend and justify the behaviors of others that are harmful, hurtful, and or seek to divide because they are on your team? They are one of the tribe. And what team jersey are you willing to relinquish in order to live oneness? There are many team jerseys. We have race jerseys, we have party affiliation, gender, so on and so on, even religious jerseys. Where are you more focused on calling out the faults of others instead of healing your own? And how does the martyr victim express itself in your life? How can you heal your wounded heart? And where is unforgiveness showing up in your life? So these take some deep thought. Some of you may choose to do them, and some may not. And I ask if you are willing to take maybe one a day, and maybe we can do some sharing during our Easter service or another time. I know I found that the last 3 were showing up for me. Not that I couldn't relate to any of the others, but these were the biggest for me. Feeling victimized by the circumstance, feeling powerless, and looking to heal. Instead of pushing down what I was feeling this week, how can I be knowing that the sensitivity I feel has something to share for me, not only in my life, but what the collective experience is happening right now. And here is the important one. They're all important, but this is where it really hits home. Whenever I am triggered by someone, where am I willing to see differently? Does it mean that I have to agree, but where am I willing to forgive? And so I've decided that I'm not going to bury my head in the sand and not going to watch the news 24/7, but I am going to be reciting this prayer when anyone, whether it's public figure or in my personal life, where I seek to point outside or I feel anger, resentment, and disdain for, I will recite this prayer. I am forgiveness. I am forgiveness acting here, casting out all doubt and fear, setting humankind forever free. With wings of cosmic victory, I am calling in full power for forgiveness every hour. To all life in every place, I flood forth forgiving grace. And so it is. And so I close with this message, my dear friends. Are you willing to look within and to be honest with yourself? Are you willing to awaken Eve, Shekinah, within you? Are you willing to live with an open and wise heart? For if we do not, we will continue to project our wounds onto another instead of inviting each other to step into the light. If we keep energizing our disdain of another or hide our heads in the sand under spiritual pretense, we will continue not to see the beauty and the divine wisdom of the moment, nor will we be ever able to ask, how may I serve this moment as the hands, the feet, the heart, and the words of the one? Namaste.
If you'll all join in saying our affirmative prayer. The whole of life is divine perfection. I am open to all the teachers in my life, those who mirror my holy beauty and magnificence, and those who point me in the direction of my healing and awakening. So at this time, we take our love offering. There's several ways to do that. You can go to our website, unitybytheshore.org, and click on the Give Now icon. You can also send a check to our address. And I am to call on Charlie to give us some tips on how to do it through another facility. You're on, Charlie.
Okay. There are instructions on our website, and some of those instructions will point you to Breeze, which is an application that we use for tracking all our income, which makes it a lot easier for us, but it also makes it good for you. You can see what you've donated in the past. You can set up recurring donations. It keeps track of your credit card number if that's what you're using. So it's very easy for you to do. What I like to think about, I know in my email I said that I do old school and I actually write a physical check. But if you want to do a recurring donation, set it and forget it kind of thing, I look at it as let go and let God. You do it, you set your intention, and it takes care of itself. So either way works. If you have any issues, you can contact me or Lisa at the office. She works Wednesday through Friday. Either one of us can help you get through any issues that you might run into, but it's a pretty easy process. There really shouldn't be any problems at all. So let me know if you have any questions. We're all getting through this together.
Thank you, Charlie.
So with that said, go back one screen, Angela. We would like to do our love offering. So I just ask you to place your hand over your heart and recite our love offering. Divine love as me blesses and increases all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. So I encourage you to donate to our lovely community. Thank you.
We have our closing song entitled Beautiful Things.
All this pain, I wonder if I'll ever find my way. I wonder if my life could really change at all. All this earth, could all that is lost ever be found? Could a garden come up from this ground at all? You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. All around, hope is springing up from this old ground. Out of chaos, life is being found in you. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of
That was beautiful. So at this time, before we say our prayer for protection, I want to reemphasize that after the prayer for protection, we will stay online. And if you want to say something, if you click on the participants icon, or if you're on your phone, you can hit the 3 little dots, and there's going to be a little raise hand function that you can raise your hand. That way we'll know if you want to speak and we'll unmute you. I just find it works better that way, to unmute one person at a time, because if multiple people start talking, it gets a little chaotic. So on that note, please stick around and join me in our prayer for protection. The light
The
of
light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God.
You can stay
The
muted
love
at this point.
folds us.
Do it. Thank you.
I am the love of God. The power of
power
God.
of God protects.
I am the power of God.
God.
The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and so it is. Amen. So I'd also like to thank Angela. I know you put many hours